you can tell me Puff going away for a long time, bro, but do you not hear the of Meek Mill? Do you not hear all of the shake it off, take that, of Will Smith?
Over the years, Jaguar Wright has made a whole lane out of calling out major industry names, Diddy, Jay-Z, even Will Smith, basically saying the public only gets the approved cut, while the real story stays locked behind VIP doors. And when Jaguar talks about Will, she doesn't talk like she's reading a verdict. She talks like she's exposing a system. She suggested Will had ties to Diddy and what she described as that puffy-flavored camp energy from years back. The kind of vibe she frames as shady industry behavior and Hollywood playbooks. Not proven facts, but the type of story that keeps catching fire because people swear they've seen the pattern before. Then she drags Orlando Brown into it, because lately he's been popping back up claiming he holds the keys to Will Smith's deepest, darkest secret. No receipts on the table, just loud statements, viral clips, and the internet doing what it does best, turning a rumor into a full-blown campaign. And if you've been watching this for years, you already know this isn't new. Will's personal life has been internet fuel for a long time. Private choices, relationship talk, sources, insiders, street talk, family tension, emotional strain, industry pressure. It all gets thrown into the same pot and stirred like it's facts, even when it's not. That's what makes it dangerous, because once the narrative grabs people, it doesn't need proof to keep moving. It just needs momentum. And it's not only Will. In the same conversations, names like Bryce and Justin Bieber get tossed around too, usually in the bigger discussion about exploitative environments and entertainment. Not as confirmed stories, but as examples people bring up when they're talking about power, control, and what happens when young talent becomes an asset instead of a person. Jaguar also pulls Jada into it. She's claimed Jada was aware of certain industry dynamics, and she's even lumped in names like Meek Mill, painting this bigger picture where Hollywood circles protect their own and everyone plays their role.
He said a lot. He said
everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, he Bashir and he Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilaal. He's kid who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son, and you ain't doing about it. Bilaal told me everything.
Their good friend who
Bilaal told me, Jada. He told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
That's the angle she pushes. This is how the game runs. This is why people go quiet. This is why stories never come out clean. And when the topic swings back to Bryce Gray, people say his public image took a hard left. If you've followed his journey online, you've seen what they mean. His pages started pushing content aimed at a very specific audience, and the shift was so drastic, people didn't know whether to ignore it or watch closer. Rumors also suggest he wasn't always living that way. At one point, he was married, and some insiders claim he thought settling down would quiet whatever inner conflict he was dealing with, like lock in, build a normal life, kill the noise. But the way the story gets told online, that plan didn't hold. The tension in the marriage reportedly kept building, and eventually it spiraled into a public mess. The kind of situation people don't just watch, they judge. Some claims go further and allege serious domestic conflict. That's not established fact. It's how parts of the internet frame it. But commentators say the fallout marked a turning point in how he moved publicly. And then the internet does what it always does. It starts connecting dots. Now people draw comparisons to Justin Bieber, focusing on what they believe are uncomfortable moments with Hailey in public. Not confirmed abuse, not verified incidents, just patterns people claim they notice. Awkward energy, tense moments, clips that get replayed 1,000 times until the vibe becomes the story. A couple months back, a short clip of Justin at a club started making rounds and the chatter went non-stop. Some blamed alcohol, some blamed the party atmosphere, but plenty of viewers treated it like another sign things might not be smooth behind the scenes in his marriage. And once that narrative starts, it doesn't let go. According to Jaguar, decisions made early in Justin's career added pressure, and she claims he was placed under Will Smith's guidance, a move she called a serious mistake in hindsight. Those are opinions, not proven facts, but they travel. And once that conversation starts, it drags people right back to older public moments involving Will and his son. Because when people think they've found a pattern, they start replaying everything. One moment that keeps getting brought up is a 2013 interview during the After Earth promo run. Viewers at the time described the on-camera energy as awkward and uncomfortable.
He tried to kiss me in the
Have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're like, I can kiss
Can
my
you kiss your
son.
client on Thai
I
television?
can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Dude, come on.
You know, I love him, Ellen. I love him. I do.
Jaden, who was a minor then, looked visibly uneasy in the clip, and critics later questioned whether the moment was appropriate. To be fair, those clips have been debated for years with no official findings of wrongdoing. But the footage keeps resurfacing anyway, because critics argue it shows how blurred boundaries in Hollywood can turn into lifelong controversy. Back then, a lot of fans were saying Will's overly affectionate behavior toward his son didn't sit right with them. And even now, that old reaction never fully disappeared. It just gets recycled every time the conversation flares up again, and that's what makes it hit harder. Because once the internet decides a clip is evidence, it stops treating it like an old interview and starts using it like ammo. And Jaguar added fuel to that fire when she amplified claims tied to Bilaal Salam. If you haven't been keeping up, Bilaal Salam is described in public reports as someone who previously worked closely with Will. Someone who, by many accounts, had a long-running relationship in Will's orbit. But that relationship reportedly fell apart, and the tension, as it's been framed online, often circles back to Jada. And this is where it stops being just internet debate and turns into paperwork. Because in late 2025, Bilaal Salam filed a $3 million lawsuit naming Jada Pinkett Smith, framing it as intentional infliction of emotional distress. Not a rumor thread, an actual legal complaint. According to the filing, he says the situation stretches back to 2021, and he points to an incident around Will's birthday celebration in September 2021. Bilaal claims Jada confronted him in public with other people around, and that the exchange got heated fast. He alleges he was warned to stop discussing private matters, and that what was said carried the weight of a threat. He also claims there was pressure for him to sign an NDA, and he says he refused.
This is a sick woman that's searching for something, but has a man behind her that's complicit in all her acts because she's holding things over Will's head, so Will feel he has to be complicit.
What type of things is she holding over Will's head? Like, from the time you met Will was straight, right?
As far as I know, yes.
As far as you know?
Yes.
Heterosexual?
Yes.
Okay.
He ran through a lot of beautiful women and
Okay.
beautiful. Absolutely.
So you was around when he met his first wife?
Yes. Well, I didn't live in LA, but I met Cherie because I would come to California quite often. And when I would come to I met Cherie. So yeah, I was around before they had Trey and everything. And she would be hanging, around at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air set.
Okay. So is it, in your opinion, do you feel like Jada intentionally took Will from Sheree, or were they truly having problems?
Well, of course they were having problems, but once again, Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will needed that validation to have that type of woman. Although Cherie was beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah.
But Cherie wasn't doing no movies. All the big guys in Hollywood wasn't trying to, celebrities weren't trying to get at her. It was Jada. So Will was like, oh, I got to have that.
Now, that's his side as presented in a legal filing, not a proven conclusion. But it's exactly the kind of claim that keeps a story alive because it's detailed, specific, and tied to a timeline. Then he jumps to 2022, right after the Oscars moment with Chris Rock shook the world.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out.
Bilaal says that behind the scenes, things shifted hard. He claims he was asked to help with a PR cleanup for the Smiths, and he refused, saying the request crossed legal, ethical, and moral lines in his view. And according to him, that refusal triggered a wave of pressure that didn't stop, it escalated. He also alleges it got even more tense once people believed he was working on a memoir. Around that same period, he went public with explosive statements about Will Smith's private life and alleged past relationships. None of those claims are established facts, and there's been strong pushback from people involved, but once statements like that hit the internet, they don't expire. They get clipped, reposted, and recycled like receipts even when they aren't proven.
Cherie caught Will in bed with Benny Medina. So,
Who?
yeah, Benny Medina. Benny Medina is who the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is based off, and he's a, big talent manager. He had J-Lo, Puffy, a bunch of them. He had Will at one point, and, he's a known homosexual.
Bilaal also suggested earlier relationships ended because of personal discoveries. Again, presented as allegations, not confirmed history. And he claims those statements led to renewed legal threats from Jada's side. Even with all that, he publicly acted like he wasn't backing down. After appearing on Tasha K more than once, Bilaal claimed he was ready to return again with documentation, basically signaling, if this goes legal, I'm not showing up empty-handed. So in his narrative, this isn't just one person talking. He frames it like a pressure cooker. More voices lining up, more angles coming out.
Jada Pinkett Smith is in the middle of a thing, namely...
A big legal thing.
A big legal thing because, according to someone, Jada threatened to put a bullet in them. Someone who is a close friend of Will's. Bilaal Salam says that he and Will have been very close friends for a long time. He's worked with him on several projects. But something went south between Bilaal and Jada back in 2021. And now Bilaal has filed a $3 million lawsuit against Jada, claiming that she basically threatened, it comes across like a death threat.
More allegations stacking from different corners of the industry, and that's when another name gets dragged back into the conversation. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard. Gene has made headlines off interviews where he claims Diddy and Will Smith were often in the same party spaces, environments he describes as wild and excessive.
Tell me the story about how Puffy wanted to fight Will Smith over Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, man. We were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damien was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. They was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damien, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and they was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his own some kind of way, and then he went like this, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him.
He doesn't present it like a proven record. He presents it like, I was around it. I know what kind of rooms these were. Gene also claims tensions eventually flared after a situation involving Jennifer Lopez, suggesting there was a misunderstanding, boundaries got tested, and egos collided behind closed doors. He even implies Will and Jada were attempting to orchestrate social situations that made certain people uncomfortable. Those are Gene's allegations, not confirmed facts. But when you stack them next to the lawsuit headlines, Jaguar's commentary, and Orlando's viral claims, it becomes a perfect storm, because the public already has one major reference point with the Smiths, the highly publicized entanglement with August Alsina.
What it sounds like on when Will Smith get in that on video and camera and audio, I'm not trying to condone what it sounds like when Meek Mill getting in that. You know what I'm saying? On camera, on video. I'm not trying to get, all in between the business of, Reginald Bill Johnson getting in that. You know what I'm saying? And all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about is some real gangster shit and some real G is, you know what I'm saying? You wanted that dick in your You wanted that dick in your ass. You wanted that extra $1 million or whatever the case may be, and you can't blame the person that gave it to you. And that's Puff. Puff like the, You know what I'm saying?
Critics say that moment changed how people viewed the marriage, like it cracked the door open. And ever since then, any new rumor doesn't land like a random rumor. It lands like another chapter. So when people say legal trouble could stretch into 2026, that's not a court schedule. That's the internet reading the momentum. More claims, more filings, more disputes, and a story that refuses to die. And Orlando Brown may still get pulled deeper into this chaos because the rumor is he's gearing up to drop more shocking claims soon. Again, talk, not proof. But when someone says, "I've got keys," the internet treats it like a countdown. Then the conversation swings into the Smiths' relationship setup. Because it's not a secret they've spoken publicly about having a non-traditional relationship. That alone gives the internet room to speculate, and street talk fills the gaps with whatever narrative people want to run with. Now, street talk goes even further, pushing claims about who Will is really with behind the scenes. None of it is confirmed, but the internet won't stop debating it, and every new clip gets treated like proof, whether it is or not. You can see it in the comments. One person wrote something like, "Will has been doing this in plain sight. People just don't know how to separate the actor from the real person." Another claimed he allegedly caused problems in other relationships, and they pulled Jaden into it too, saying people label him as the problem instead of asking what made him feel the way he felt. Those are opinions, not verified claims, but they show how divided the public is. And then the internet always tries to push it further, speculating that if Jada truly knew about certain family issues, it could explain why Jaden spoke about wanting independence at a young age. That theory has never been proven, and there's no verified evidence of wrongdoing involving minors. But online forums still twist old statements into wild narratives because gossip culture turns questions into conclusions. Others claim Will's private life was an open secret back in the day, saying there was nothing shocking about who he spent time with. Again, rumors, street talk, recycled stories, not confirmed evidence. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think this is real smoke coming from inside the industry? Or just the internet stitching random moments into a storyline that never had proof? And here's the real question. If someone files paperwork and multiple people start telling similar stories, at what point does gossip stop being gossip? Drop your take in the comments, like, subscribe, share this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. We'll see you on the next one, because this story doesn't fade, it reloads.